I'm tagging a few people. Give me just a second. I had some people tell me they wanted me to tag them, so I'm going to get that out to them real fast. I've been so excited about today's live. But remember, if you know me, you know Saturday is the day I don't wear makeup. So, but you're not here to see me. You're here to see a new technique. So I can't wait to show you guys. We're going to do 2 cups today. We're going to start with one that is needs a little time to dry before we move on to the next one, because then we'll go back to the first one and finish it up. So everybody say hello on ship cup. No, that's going to be Tuesday. Tuesday I will do the maybe it's Sunday. Yes, tomorrow I'm doing the first part of the ship cup so that it'll have time to dry and I can get it epoxied. Then on Tuesday I'll do the second part, which is to show you how to get the waves to roll on the bottom of the cup and not work its way up to the top of the cup. So that's when we'll do it. But I'll make sure, if you really want me to tag you in it, make sure you send me a quick message on my page so that I can remember to tag you. So here are the 2 cups we're going to be doing today. This is the first one. I started sanding it a little bit just because I felt some bumps, but this is the first one. I got inspiration by pulling up just a stained glass. It did say today. Oh, no, I'll fix that. No, it's not today. It's supposed to be tomorrow and Tuesday. Okay, I'll go in that after this live and change it. It wasn't supposed to be. It's what happens when you try to do 2 or 3 things at the same time. Anyway, we're going to start with this one, and then what I've been looking so forward to doing. We'll go to that one, and then we'll come back to this one. So this is the first one. I pulled up stained glass from a church or from wherever, but this is what the stained glass looks like in the church where I work. And this is what we're going to be working on today. So I'm making 2 of these, so I'm able to use the second one. This is for a fundraiser for a local community center here in town. So I'm glad to be able to work on this one and the second one with you guys. All right, let me show you the few things you're going to need to do this cup. You will need double-sided tape. You can get 4 rolls, I believe, of the double-sided tape on Amazon. This stuff is fantastic, especially if you want to do stripes on a cup that are going to be crisp. I'll give you some hints on how to make it work correctly. This is what people use to make their candy cane cups, is the double-sided tape, and you'll see why in just a little bit. You'll need this. This is the smallest one out of the 4 that you get. You will need an X-Acto knife. And you're going to have to excuse that. I have a tickle in my throat, and I have a slum feeling that I'm getting a cold. You're going to need the sponges for makeup, and that's the other cup. You will need, let's see, we have purple. This is from Let's Resin. I'm using the same one that I used for the last one to make sure that they match. So this is purple from Let's Resin. This is the aqua green. I got this from Fairy Tale Glitter. They have several of these. I liked their colors. But the best part about this is the effect that it gets if I use their alcohol ink. This one is orange, sunset orange. We'll use some Stream and some yellow. This is from Let's Resin, Fairy Tale Glitter, and from Tim Holtz. Now I went to the Walmart. To the Hobby Lobby. They have a new kind out, but I don't want to do a tutorial with those. Not using them first, so I don't know what they're called. They've got a woman's name on them, but I'm going to get some of those really soon, and I'm going to work on some kind of tutorial for that. All right. So the first thing I did was I put my double-sided tape down all over the cup in a pattern that I would like. I did leave, what's that? I did leave part of it available for me to show you guys how I put it on. Where's my, I'm going to get that off. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it on there. All I'm using is alcohol to get this off. I have no idea what it is, but it looks like we'll be using a dark on that one. Anyway, so all I did was I put my double-sided tape, but I left a spot available here so I can show you how I did it. And I'm going to move you down because you're here to see the cups and not me. It's still rolling. Sorry. My dog is now over there sniffing it, wanting to know what all that noise is. Okay, see my hands. Anyway, I'm going to do it this way so that you can see what I'm doing. I am taking my double-sided tape. Let me move you back a little so you're not sitting right on top of me. I'm taking my double-sided tape, finding the end, and I'll cut a piece off. I've already got my gloves on. I probably should have waited, but yeah, no. Now, I made sure one side, I'm going to take my gloves off and stick into my gloves. I waited till one side was, made sure that it was straight so that it would go across my double-sided area here. You don't want them to overlap because then you can't pull the top part off. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. And here's where the the X-Acto knife comes in. I just go right along the edge of the tape that it is overlapping and I cut it just like that. So now it's not overlapping and you'll see why in just a little bit. I think I'm going to leave this one big because I have a big one over there, but I'm going to cut this one in half, but I'm going to do it off-centered because that's the way stained glass looks. I don't know why I want to keep calling it stainless glass. All right, move that down. And then I'm going to use the last piece of this. I just used my scissors to cut at the bottom. There's no reason to use your X-Acto knife. And I'm going to make a little box here. Just because I want to. And it's another place. And now with the X-Acto knife, I'm going to take it right along the edge. And I'm going to cut it so they're not overlapping. Just like that. So that's what I did all over the cup. And now we're going to move on to the color. Away. And now I'm going to put my glove back on. You will need gloves because alcohol ink is very messy. I am going to try to move you back a little bit more. All right, that's much better, much better. Okay, now what we're going to do is take our makeup sponge and we will take our alcohol ink, dab it on our makeup sponge. I do not like alcohol ink on my hands. I have no idea why. Any other part of my body, legs, arms, it doesn't bother me, but my hands it does. So you're going to take your makeup sponge and you'll dab it onto the makeup sponge just like this. And all you're going to do is you're going to find the square you want to start with. We'll start with this one down here and we'll dab it on just like that. You can overlap the tape. Now you're going to go over this a second time. Now go and find another spot that you want to do. Go ahead and use this sponge while it's still wet on your spots. Just dab it on, just like that. Go to our next spot I'd like to cover. And the best part is, if you decide to do this after you've epoxied, is if you don't like a spot, you can use alcohol to remove it. And I'll come up here. I like to use all one color, but I don't like my colors to touch. So if I have a green, I don't want it to touch the blue. If I have a orange, I don't want to touch the yellow. And we're using both orange and yellow. Okay, now we'll move on and we will use the aqua green. This is from Fairy Tale Glitter. Get another sponge. Dab it on. This is a pretty green. And now you'll find the spot that you want and you'll just dab it on. Again, we're going to go back over this to make it a little brighter. So we'll go through the first time will be light and the second time will be a little brighter. Let's find another spot. Okay, down here. A little bit more. I hope I'm not missing any questions. I know, and I don't like it on my nails. I don't know, I guess it was just because when I was growing up, I was not allowed to have anything on my hands. So, like some kids would go, see where I touched that, will go and write all over their hands. I wasn't allowed to do that. I would get in a lot of trouble if I wrote on my hands. Maybe another reason I haven't gotten a tattoo. All right. We can add more on if we need to. I'll put a little bit more up here. But, I'm not like that with my children. They have my eldest has a tattoo. So, I didn't like for them to write on their hands, but whatever they do to their bodies, I can't stop them. All right, so now we're going to move on. If you see, I'm just wiping off a little bit of that. Let's go to now what I'm going to tell you about this double-sided tape is you need to make sure that when you glitter it, that you do your dark first, not your light first. Because if the dark, I apologize, that's wrong. You're going to do your light first, because if the dark gets on the light, you can see through it with the light. But if you put the dark on first, you'll see the dark through the light. It'll make sense to you one day when I come back in here and show it to you. You'll go, aha, I saw what you were saying. Okay, now we're going to go on to our purple. This is from Let's Resin. It just happened to be one that I was trying out one day, and I have the whole set. And let's do this big dude here. When this is done, we'll put it aside, let it dry, because you don't want to mess with it while it's wet. I love that purple. So pretty. All right, add a little bit more. We'll come over here and start cleaning up some of these spots that got brown on it. I don't know where the brown came from. Interesting, because I don't have any brown out right now. No telling. But this will help cover it up. Here, see, all gone. And that would be my dog barking at somebody who decided that getting into their car was what they wanted to do. Shame on them. Hush up. Hush, Lolly. Good girl. Hush. All right. I had to do the spot because a piece of purple landed here. Look, it's dripping. I don't like. So you take a little bit of alcohol. This is right here is just 92% alcohol. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to wipe it off. Just like that. See, it came right off with alcohol. Take some more of this because we're going to be coming back through with that color. And see, that's the thing. If you put color on here that you don't like, alcohol will take it right off. It dripped over, and I'm about to kill myself. A couple of little dogs. They're living because I love them so much. All right, get in here with this orange again. Cover up that mess. Hush, Lolly. Cover this up. But if you'll notice, I'm going over it again. It gets a little darker. Gives it a little depth by moving around. Come over here, fix the little orange spot. I think I'd never done this before, but did you see? It covered it right up. Move over here. I'm going to do this little spot right here. And then we'll move on to our next color. I have to turn on the air conditioner. Go figure. All right, we'll move on to our blue. I'm going to pull in some denim blue. I love denim blue. I use it a lot of times. Sorry, I had to turn on my air conditioner. It's hot in here. So I'm going to use some denim blue. I love the denim blue. The next would be white, but I really like the denim blue. Guys, this looks a hot mess, but I promise this is what it turns out to look like. Put some blue in here just to cut up the light colored contrasting. All right, let's go here. Put that dark blue in there. And as I said, we'll be coming back to add more in just a little bit. I'm wondering if that's what got on it earlier. Guess we'll find out, won't we? Let's come over here, add a little there. You finally found me. Hi. I wasn't lost. I'm glad that you found me. All right, we're going to add some blue in here. I think the one thing that brings this one out the most is that yellow. Oh my gosh, the yellow is so pretty. Let's finish this here. Add that in there. Maybe some down here. That's the best part, just adding it in wherever you decide you want to add it. Now let's put some of that yellow in. My yellow is also from Let's Resin. The only thing I don't like about the Let's Resin is that it smells like fish. Hope I'm not the only person who notices that. Okay, we're gonna put that yellow in here. Shouldn't have put it next to the orange, but it is what it is. In fact, it'll look fine. It's because I like that orange in there. I don't want it to touch any of the other colors because I don't want it to turn brown. We'll go right here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. And if you'll notice when I put that yellow on and I go over it again, it got a little darker. Just a little, but I'm leaving the little marks from the sponge on here because it gives it a little definition, which is not a bad thing. Okay, so I think, what does that one have? We have purple, we have purple, we have purple. Let's do, we have blue. Sometimes it just can't be helped. I'm gonna have to put two together. All right, let's go ahead and darken up these. That was the alcohol ink from Fairy Tale. Come up here, make that a little darker, make these a little darker. I think I want to add a little bit of Baja Blue. If you don't have Baja Blue from, you see how much I use it? Look at it. Pinata has the best Baja Blue. And every time I see a tutorial that requires some kind of pretty blue for water, this is what they use. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to give myself a different colored blue because I can. All right, let's put that one right there. Oh, yeah. That's what it was missing. Thank you very much. Just dab it on. All right, now we're gonna come down here. Since we have the other blue there, we'll put the blue here. Turn this over and give it a little bit of definition. I swear to goodness, this is really pretty when it's over. You won't be disappointed. We're gonna go with it up here. But I can't wait to show you the next one. I just can't. I'm just so thrilled. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of the orange up here, or yellow. Other spots, yellow there, we have yellow there. So that will need, what should we put there, guys? We have green, we have blue, we have yellow, we have orange. We might have to go in here with, there's the Baja blue. Let's go in with some more green here. And let's see what I have over here. I don't want red. Let's do some bright yellow. What do y'all think? Yeah, I thought so. All right, pull out another one here. We'll put in some bright yellow in the spots that are needing it. Nope. I just don't like my colors to touch. I'm gonna do the bottom orange, obviously. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to just start mixing the colors because I don't know what to do otherwise. So we're just gonna have to, you might want to start with a bunch of colors. Let's put some yellow on top of this blue just to get it brightened up. Ooh, look, it's green. Yay, yellow and blue does make green, doesn't it? Because that's what they teach you in school. That's what I'm doing, people. I'm doing it. I'm so happy about this one. Let's put a little more green on. Here. Oh, that was yellow. That's okay. You know what's even better about that? Is that it's stained glass. And so you're going to have many different colors in there. I think it did something to it. I don't know, maybe onto something. Okay, we have one spot here. And I think that is it. Yes, that's it. And this little hot mess is going to look really nice real soon. Okay, now I have alcohol in my alcohol sprayer. Let me get rid of all of this. And all I'm going to do is mist over it. Now what that's going to do is it's going to cause the alcohol ink to disperse on the cup, and it's going to make what's known as cells. You'll see the cells spread out as I spray the alcohol on it. I'm getting my inks out of the way. Sorry. So when you spray it, you'll get cells on it, and you'll start seeing them separate. And that's the next step. See the cells breaking up there? And this is your next step. So I'm just going to spray the whole thing and set it aside to dry while we move on to our next step and the hot mess known as stained glass cups. All right, let's move this little hot mess over and move on to my next one, which I have been very, very excited about. So I put out a poll, and I asked you guys what you wanted to see. Let me see. You like my shirt? Thank you. My daughter made that. Didn't you, Makila? That's my daughter, Makila Short. It says, "This is my epoxy shirt." Hey, Gigi. I know, I was looking for pink. I didn't see it. I did have purple on there, didn't I? Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind. Okay. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is I put out a poll, and I asked you guys what you wanted to do. Whether you wanted the pineapple or if you wanted the owl, so on and so forth. Well, you guys chose the owl, and this is the SVG that I chose. Hey, Gita. So we're going to use alcohol inks on here, but we're going to do it in a completely different way. And this is what I'm so excited about. Alcohol inks don't just come in, sorry, some got on the glass and I don't want it there. That's why I don't like it on my hands. They don't just come in liquid form. Guys, this was the hint. Alcohol markers. This is the greatest thing since, I don't know, alcohol inks. These are alcohol markers. You can get these online on Amazon. You can cut out your SVG, What a fun thing in the world to do. You have a kid that likes to color, let them color in the SVG. So we're going to, I told you it's going to be colorful. Pineapples look really great in different colors. I know that you guys have probably seen these, but you're thinking, how in the world did they do it? Well, now you're going to find out. So I'm going to bring you back down and let you watch me color. Oh my goodness. So sorry. I dropped my phone. It's on one of those phone doohickeys, and it's attached to my chair, and I guess it did not want to be messed with. But you guys just met my desk. All right, so this is our little owl. Isn't he cute? And I think on the other side, I'm so sorry I dropped you guys. I think I'm going to put on the other side, I'll love you forever, or I'll buy a new phone thing. I'm so sorry. Ugh. We're about to have ourselves a come to Jesus talk with this little dude. Okay. I may be editing this one for our channel. All right, look. Okay, good. All right, here he is again. I'm going to put I'll love you forever or who loves you baby or something like that. But first we have to color it in. And the way you do that is you have these markers. Now on one side of the marker is going to be your fine tip. That's great for the little bitty spots. And the other side of the marker is going to be the bigger side, which is great for bigger SVGs. I'm going to start with the fine tip and see how it works. And all you're going to do, people, is color in just like that. And the best part is, because these are alcohol based, if you make a mistake or you get it on the vinyl, all you have to do is use alcohol to take it off, because this is already epoxied. What I did was I took, I spray painted this white, and then instead of putting my glitter onto my cup, I put the glitter directly into my epoxy. Now, there are people out there that really love to color. They have their own adult coloring books. Well, this is about as good as it comes. You can get these alcohol pens at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or just have them shipped to you. But look, guys, that's all it is. It's just a bunch of coloring in between the lines of whatever SVG you decide to use. And because there's so many to choose from, like I did before, I'm going to start with one color and I'll move around. Like that there. Let's see here. I'll probably go on both sides and do it on the exact opposite side. But look how much fun is that. See, and all I'm going to do is color in everything. Now the SVG is available. If you guys would like it from me, let me know and I'll upload it. Let's go with pink next. I will send it to the Puzzle Tumblers page. Let me turn it over so you can see what I'm doing. I've never really colored upside down, so I guess there's always a first. How cool is that, people? I mean, it's so much fun. And then when you put it on the cup, it's always going to be unique because not every cup is going to be colored the same. I saw some of these in Hobby Lobby earlier. They're not this brand, but they work just as well. But you have to make sure when you go and find the marker that you like, that you pull up and find out that it is an alcohol-based marker. It would be really sad if you went in to get them and you came home and you made a mistake and you weren't able to fix it because you don't have an alcohol base. Okay, I'm going to color in his little toes. And now people can't say, oops, see, I got it on the vinyl. It came right off. Color in his toes. You can start, if you have the pineapple, you can start with one green. You can make bunches of different shades of green. Here's the yellow. I won't color the whole thing, guys, because I don't want you to have to sit and watch me color it, but I think you get the idea. And I will move back to the other one in just a second. See, I got it on the vinyl, just rubbed it right off. Ooh, I don't want this color. Take some alcohol and just wipe it off with alcohol. Not with acetone, because this is already, it's already been epoxied. You don't want acetone on your epoxy. And then what I was saying a second ago, how you can blend in your colors, is that yellow was great, but I'm going to add in a little darker yellow just to give it a little bit of difference in color, just to make it so it's not quite, wow, that's yellow, yellow. I just gave it a little bit of tweaking. So that's what I've been so excited about showing you guys. I mean, hello, how awesome is this? Let's go with purple. What do y'all guys think? I think purple. And I can already tell just by the feel that my daughter's gonna wanna do this, because they both really enjoy arting. And so we're going to let them come home from school and do something simple that you really don't have to think a whole lot about. My vinyl's coming up, I apologize. You just color it in. Let's go to the other side. As you know, birds are usually pretty asymmetrical. So I will finish that up in a little bit. I want to see if anyone has any questions for me. You can do it with alcohol inks. I think only because it's more precise is the reason I wanted to do it this way. I mean, you noticed on this one how crazy it got. You don't want it to go crazy like that. You want to make sure that it's more precise. And so, and guys, this wasn't that expensive. I think for this entire kit, numbered and everything, so if you run out of one of the colors, you can always order it. These pins are called CaliArt, C-A-L-I-A-R-T. It's backwards and I apologize. CaliArt. And these are great for, let's say you wanted to just make swirls and everything on your cups. You have more control over that. I mean, you can have people all come in and sign your cup. Now, let's talk about sealing. You need to make sure that you seal these before you put epoxy on them. These are alcohol pens. They're alcohol-based pens. They're not alcohol ink. They're just alcohol-based pens. They work just like alcohol ink in the sense that if you don't like what you've put on here, all you have to do is use a little bit of alcohol before it completely dries and you can wipe it right off. I got these online. I get most of my stuff on Amazon. If you know me, you know that I sit at my window and I wait for them to show up. But you can get these at Hobby Lobby. If you're an artist, you probably already have them. They're called Copic pens. If you're not, don't spend that kind of money on Copic pens. I know, isn't that like a great price? I think, and I got, how many were in there? Oh, 40. Yeah, they're 40 pins for $21. And they last, and they have two different sides. So if you need to do something bigger, it's got the flat side on there as well. If you're doing something small like what I'm doing, it's got that skinny side on there. So you actually get, if you think about it, 80 pins for $21. And I believe they're on sale right now. I think that 21 went down from 36. Don't quote me on that. I ordered them last week. No, I spray painted my cup white, and then I added glitter to my epoxy. So when I put the epoxy on, it automatically epoxied my cup so that it wasn't an epoxy method or anything like that. I didn't have to wait for the glue to dry. It dried all at one time. Yeah, it is a good price. And I really want to see what you guys do. I know I say that all the time, but I really, really, really like to see what you guys do. They are. Oh, well, I wish I had gotten the 81, but that's okay. I will stick with my little 40-piece set, 80 if you go with both sides. Anyway, so I spray painted it and I did 2 coats. Actually, the first coat that I did, you see the glitter is actually in the epoxy. The second, and it's got my fingers are dirty. Then 40 minutes after I did, okay, let me rewind. I spray painted it. I added glitter to my epoxy. I put the epoxy over the spray paint and I let it dry overnight. Yesterday, I put epoxy on top of it. I set a timer. 40 minutes later, I went back in and I did a flood coat. That gives you that glass look. You can do that with any cup that you have. Do that flood coat 40 minutes later and it's going to be fantastic. With this one, as soon as I'm through coloring in my little owl dude, I will seal it. You could seal it with, I use KBS Diamond Coat. I get that on Amazon. Guys, it is pricey, but it lasts for forever and you don't need as much to seal. I find that by using that, whenever I have multiple glitters on something, if I spray it really well with the Diamond Coat, it's not going to move into each other. But I always make sure before I epoxy that I rub on it, and if any of it gets on my hands, I spray it again. All right, let's move back to this little dude. I want to show you how I came about doing this. I will finish him up, and I'm trying to decide if I want to give this one away or keep it. Do I give it away as a prize, or do I keep it? You guys tell me what you think, but let's move on to the next one. We're going to move back to this one, my hot little mess that's going to hopefully turn out to look just like this one. I'm going to bring you back down and show you how this double-sided tape works. This stuff is awesome. I love it. Love it, love it. It's awesome. All right, so now we're going to bring in our tweezers and we're going to pull the top part up. The bottom part stuck to the cup. The double-sided tape is right there. All right, you're going to find the double-sided tape, just like this, and pull it off. There's where your crisp lines come in. That's why it's okay for it to get onto the cup itself. Well, that one's done. And then in a minute, you'll see what I'm going to do. There you go. And do you see right here? See how the dark got into here? If you had decided to do the red and white onto your double-sided tape, if you do your dark first and it gets onto the white's not going to cover it up. But if you cover the double-sided tape that you want in white first, there's no place for that dark glitter to go. So if that were glitter, it would have ruined that double-sided tape. But since I'm using a black glitter in a second, you'll see that it'll cover it right up. I got this double-sided tape on Amazon. You get 4 packets. Pull that off. And this is why I told you you didn't want them to overlap, because then you wouldn't be able to pull them up. Double-sided tape's great for your candy cane cups, for anything that you want stripes. If you want to do a rainbow cup, these are great because it is going to keep those crisp lines. Yeah, I may end up having to run my heat gun over this real fast in a second. One of the first tutorials I did for puzzle tumblers was on double-sided tape. It's also known as sewing tape, I guess you would call it. And guys, when you do your stained glass, you don't have to do squares. You can do willy-nilly, you can do triangles, you can do whatever it is that you decide to do. It doesn't have to be squares. I just chose squares because that was the inspiration that I got from the picture. I think I got it all. By touching it, you can tell if it's got the backing off of it yet. Okay, I think I got it all. All right, I'm going to go use my heat gun on this real fast. I want to make sure that all of the alcohol ink is dry, at least mostly. Shouldn't take long. Alcohol dries very quickly. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use on this little dude is going to be super fine black glitter. You can get this at Fairy Tale Glitter. This is what started the Tacket Revolution, except it was done by Miss Ruth first. And then it moved on and it became what's nicely known as the Tacket method. All right, so this is a, make sure it's in. This is a tea strainer. I got these on, take a wild stab. Got this on Amazon, but I like to use it with these super fine glitters because look how fine that mesh is. So when it goes on, it's not going to go on in one big clump. So all I do is I take, here's my paper. Oh, I'm going to go get something. I just pour this in here. Doesn't take much. You're going to be putting a lot of it back. I learned this little trick for Miss Amelia so that it's easy to get it back in. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this black glitter and I'm just going to all over that beautiful double-sided tape. It doesn't have to be in black. I just need it to match my other cup. So you bought all of that glitter because you wanted to do the Tacket method. You did the Tacket method and you're like, oh, okay, now what? You can do this. Same thing, you're going to take your glitter and you're going to make sure that you rub it in. Just like you did with the Tacket method. You want to make sure that it's rubbed in really well onto that double-sided tape, because if it's not, you're going to be able to see the tape. Did I get that one off? Yeah. And this is how you're getting your crisp lines. And remember that hot little mess I showed you a little while ago? Yeah, it's not a hot mess anymore. You are going to need to seal this before you epoxy it, or you're going to have a mess on your hands, because all of this glitter, while it is stuck down with that double-sided tape, will still travel. Look, this is how you know that you had one left over. Pull that off. This is why I like this right here. Look. People really. And I was able to pull it back in there with just the crease. And I'm going to put this back on here. I might go over the whole thing again just to make sure. Where did that piece go? Oh, I guess I covered it. Double-sided tape. I love it. So now you have learned 2 more things that you can do with the lovely alcohol ink that you have at your house. Use a brush it off. Got this brush at the Dollar Tree. If you've been on, you know that I'm all about the Dollar Tree. Brush off what you can. If you've got little clumps on it like this, you can scrape them off. But if you'll notice where all of those little cells are, that's what causes all the texture. I'll let this sit for a little while just to make sure that it is nice and dry. But that's how we got those crisp lines on the stained glass. So, does anyone have any questions? Double-sided tape is so fantastic, especially if you want those really crisp lines. Go and look at the people who do those beautiful candy cane cups, and you think to yourself, I would never be able to do that because I can't do those lines. Well, guess what they're using? They can't either unless they use the double-sided tape. And it comes in 4 different things. Look at the 4 different sizes. So you can get, and there's one more I want to get. Look, it comes in these 4 sizes. When you order them from Amazon, you're going to get all 4 of these sizes. And you can layer one right on top of the other if you wanted to. So you could do this one in black and this one in red, or you could do this one in red and this one in black. So really, it depends on look at the opportunities you have now. And as I said a second ago, you don't have to do squares. You can put one across here, and make a bunch of triangles. It could be complete, but the only reason why I'm doing squares on the second one is because it is it's for a fundraiser, and I want 2 glasses to go. Yeah, it does look like the Partridge Family. My husband said that to me also. It's the Partridge Family. And then when I put it online, my cousin came on and she said that in the early 80s, she and her brother decided to surprise their mom with a picture. And she has a shirt that's shaped just like this. But yes, isn't that great? And when you do the, remember how much of a hot mess this looked a little while ago? If you didn't, rewind it. Go look, because it's not a hot mess anymore. But when you do your triangles and everything, they're all going to be different sizes also. So you can get these wine glasses that come with a lid from Fairy Tale Glitter. So if anybody has any questions on where to get those, ta-da, yay. Y'all have to promise me that if you do decide to do this, that y'all share the pictures with me. You don't have to share them on the page. Send them to me on my messenger, Jennifer Stratton Short. And I never heard from anyone. Nobody even told me. Did they want me to give this away? Because if they do, we have to come up with something. Because right now, y'all are on live. And you know, only people who are on live get to go for my cup. The bottom, I did nothing. I didn't do anything. And I got orange on this one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my alcohol. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If you decide you want to put something on the bottom, go for it. Again, the only reason why I'm not doing anything on the bottom is because I didn't do it on the first one, or I would. I want them to kind of match. Alcohol, 91% alcohol. Go in here. It comes right off. Alcohol will remove alcohol ink. Isn't that amazing to know? So, yeah, watch the replay because we finished this one. Giveaway. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You can find my name on Facebook under Jennifer Stratton Short. And what I want you to do is between now and I'll give you till 8 o'clock. That way anybody who comes in and does the replay can go in there as well. Go in there and type in alcohol ink. That way I'll know what tutorial it goes to, because tomorrow I'm going to start the first of 2 tutorials on how to do the shipwreck cup. So if you guys want to find out how I do that, you'll need to come back tomorrow, and I'm going to do it later. I'm not going to do it. I think I'll have to go look because my calendar's on my phone and I don't know where it is, but giveaway before your phone dies. Okay, go onto my page, go into my messenger and send me the message that says alcohol ink. You have until 8 o'clock tonight to do that. Anything after 8 o'clock will not qualify. We'll put your name in. We will do the random picker online, and we'll go from there. That may not be the only thing I give away, because I usually have lots of fun things that Robin sends to me, and I like to give those away as well, because we really appreciate all you guys being on this page. Second thing, I do tutorials along with all of our design team on our Puzzle Tumblers exclusive site. You want to go over there because we do SVGs that are not available anywhere else. They are designed by the design team, and only people who are in the executive club or the exclusive club get those. And every month they are removed, so that the people who join the next month will only get, I'm already getting all of your notifications. So there's that. You're going to get exclusive glitter. And usually this month we got 3 glasses, 4 glitters, 10 SVGs. And so far they've done 6 lives to show you all the different things that you can do with the glitter. Guys, the glitter that I just did, this black glitter, is in that group, and it's not available to anyone else. She's also doing some, on Puzzle Tumblr, she's doing glitter that you can do things. Yes, on my messenger, Jennifer Stratton Short. Just send that over to me. If it doesn't accept it, send me a friend request. Write me a note. Gotcha, Gita. Just send me a note. It's not accepting me. Can you please just be my friend? And I'll say, please, I want to be your friend. I like having friends. So, like Mary. Mary came in and said, I want to be your friend, and I will be Mary's friend. So come back tomorrow, please, and let's do, I haven't decided if I'm going to do the wood grain or if I'm going to do the planks. Yes, there are planks to be learned, and I think that if I can figure out how to do that, I will teach you guys how to do it as well. I hope that you guys learned something from me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to go over to my messenger or onto the Puzzle Tumblers page and whip that out. I will get back with you as soon as I have an answer for you. And I appreciate you guys coming in and watching me do everything. You guys have I think so too. I thought so. You guys have a fantastic day. Laura said she wants planks. I'm thinking everybody else is going to want planks because everybody's already doing the wood grain. So tomorrow we will be doing that on a cup. Then we have to let it dry. Then I have to epoxy it before we move on to the waves. I'm going to teach you a different way to do the waves that is going to involve a paintbrush. And that has to be Tuesday because you have to give me 2 days to get enough epoxy on. So you guys have a fantastic Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Let Miss Jessica know what you think, and you have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye.